I will record this meeting for just to register this activity. And do you see my slides clearly?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And I will start now. Thank you for joining this info session. Welcome to Google Developer Student Club. My name is Aya. I'm a Google Developer Club leader. And this info session consists of 3 parts. First, I will introduce our goals and community activities. And then I will give a short introduction about machine learning. And then in the third part, you can ask any question, or we can just greet each other and learn about each other more. So first of all, what's the Google Developer Student Club? I prepared a small video for you. So Google Developer Student Club is known worldwide. So this is a very famous program in other countries. And let's see what impact students made by joining this community.
Developer student clubs are university-based communities where students learn about Google technology and use their skills to solve local problems. There are over 700 clubs all over the world. From North America to Europe, Africa, and across Asia, we encourage more students to join or start a developer student club at their university.
Some students have overcome personal barriers with the help of their DSC community on their journey to become developers. These clubs help student developers learn through hands-on workshops. They then identify challenges faced by local businesses, NGOs, and sometimes even their own universities, and build real solutions for real problems.
The workshops that we had was Firebase, Actions on Google, and we're about to do ML. It's an amazing experience to learn about the impact that the technologies can provide in our local communities.
DSC is a family, and it's not just about the programming, it's about the learning of teamwork and leadership.
A lot of villages face the problem of water, farming, floods. Maybe we can develop applications to solve this problem. Might be very ambitious for us as students to say that, but nothing is impossible. We can do it.
Developer student clubs around the world have already impacted so many students in their universities and people in their community. The future is bright for the next generation of students.
So we see how this community helped students to grow their skills and impact within the community and beyond. So what are the goals of our community at SOKENDAI? I made a small questionnaire, the result of which you can see here. And you can see that the AI topic was the most interesting topic for you. But if you look closer to this graph, you can see that actually students of SOKENDAI have a wide range of interests in tech and non-tech topics. The tech topics include AI/ML, data science, programming, application development, design, and non-tech skills are productivity, leadership, how to advance in career, or start your startup. So in order to meet the goals of our community, we organize activities such as workshops, where you can get hands-on experience in programming, machine learning, Google Cloud. You can build your first application, your website. You can also attend the speaker sessions This is tech talks, for example, where speaker covers some technical content or non-technical content. It's a great chance to expand your network and meet the experts. We will also host Hackathon, where you can learn quickly the necessary skills for you to build a product. And then in the demo days, you will showcase the result. All these skills are useful for your personal development, but you also can win a chance to participate in a global solution challenge. This is the competition that includes teams from all over the world. And the aim is to solve one of the global problems, such as educational problems or gender inequality problems. So, as you already know, I sent you the link how to join our club. This is the platform where you can join, and there are also some social media links. So this is for regular members recruitment, but we also have a core team recruitment, which consists of technical and non-technical members. For example, if you are experienced programmer, you use programming for your analysis, or you develop applications in your free time, you can share your knowledge with other peers, and this will help you to strengthen your knowledge and to grow individually as a leader and as a community member. There are also non-technical roles, for example, event organization, social media development, or partnership programs. So if you are interested, please let me know, and we can build a core team, a strong core team together. Now, if you have any question, you can ask now. Is it clear? Okay, then I will proceed with the machine learning introduction.
Yeah, I have a few questions.
Okay, yeah.
So, could you please tell us in brief what kind of activities we would be doing if we join this Google development? And then what kind of problems we could solve, and how this can be achieved, actually.
Okay, so as I said, we have workshops. This is where you gain new knowledge or skills. For example, we can organize a study jam where we learn, for example, machine learning algorithm and how to run this algorithm on a data set, or for example, how to analyze data using technologies. You can learn how to create a mobile application or a website. Then we have a session, speaker sessions. For example, some of you may know that in December 22nd, we will have a tech talk by Minori Matsuda, which is one of the Google developer expert who will give a small talk on machine learning. And you will also gain some practical experience during this tech talk. So this is a chance for you to meet one of the experts and also to develop your new skills. And we also have Hackathon. Maybe you've heard about this Hackathon. So this is where you join as a team, for example, and you build an application to solve some problems. And problems can be of different scales. For example, you can create a website for local business, Or you can create a website that will help people from different parts of the world, like earthquake notification app, for example. So it's up to you how creative you are, and you can come up with your ideas. I think for beginners, we can learn how to create websites for ourselves, our personal websites, or for our, for example, lab. If your lab didn't renew their website for a long time, it's a great chance for you to apply this knowledge and help to organize your online presence, lab on online presence. Is it clear?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And I think now I will proceed with the introduction to ML. Does anyone of you like familiar or know what machine learning is? Or maybe you've heard about this? Nobody? Okay. So the aim of this short introduction is to describe what machine learning is. And I also want you to understand how to define machine learning problem and propose a solution. So let's first start with what is machine learning. So I will describe the artificial intelligence first. Artificial intelligence, or AI, refers to the broad capability of machines to perform activities using human-like intelligence. And machine learning is a type of artificial intelligence. It is the process of training a piece of software called a model to make useful predictions using a data set. This predictive model can then serve up predictions about previously unseen data. We can describe machine learning problems falling in a spectrum of supervision between supervised and unsupervised learning. And let's start with supervised learning first, and then we will understand what are other types of machine learning. So supervised learning is a type of machine learning where the model is provided with labeled training data. For example, suppose you are a plant researcher and you want to differentiate between two species of a plant, and these two species look pretty similar. Fortunately, as a plant researcher, you put a data set. You put together a data set you found in the wild, along with species names. And leaf width and leaf length are the features of your data set, while the species are the label. In a real-life botanical data or plant data, the data set would contain more features like description of flowers, blooming time, arrangement of leaves, but still will have only one label, for example, small leaf or big leaf. And features are measurements or descriptions, while the label are essentially the answer. For example, the goal of this data set is to understand which species is this plant. This data consists of only 4 examples you can see here. And in the real life data set would likely contain more examples. And if we graph the leaf width and the leaf length and then color code the species, we can see here the representation of our data set. In supervised machine learning, you feed the features and the corresponding labels into an algorithm in a process called model training. And during the training, the algorithm gradually determines the relationship between features and their corresponding labels. This relationship is called the model. Oftentimes in machine learning, the model is very complex, but in our example, this this model can be represented as a line that separates big leaf and small leaf. And one of the, sorry. And now when the model exists, you can use that model to classify new plants that you find in the jungle. For example, these white triangles represent new plants, and you can see that some of them belong to the big leaf group and some of them belong to a small leaf group. So we are done with supervised learning, and this is a small description. I will share this presentation later on for your future studies, so you can study it in more detail later. Now let's move to the unsupervised learning. In unsupervised learning, the goal is to identify meaningful patterns in the data. And to accomplish this, the machine must learn from the unlabeled data set. In other words, the model has no hints how to categorize each piece of data and must conclude its own rules for doing so. So in the following graph, all examples are of the same shape and of the same color, because we don't have any label to differentiate between examples of one type or another. So all of them are green, and we don't know if there are any distinct groups. So if we try to fit a line to unlabeled data, it doesn't seem to be helpful. We still end up with examples of the same shape on both sides of the line. So clearly we have to try a different approach. What do you think if you were researcher and you receive this result? What do you think would be different approach? How to divide this data? So now we have just a line, and it's not clear, for example, if we have a new data here, does it belong to this group or this group? Any ideas?
I think maybe we should look at some parameters that are unknown at this point of time to further classify them into distinct groups.
So you suggest to look at the different features?
Yeah, different parameters.
Can we somehow divide differently these data sets? Not in a straight line. So as an idea, we can cluster the data into different categories, and these clusters are arbitrary. And we don't know what these clusters represent, and it can be difficult to say so. Sometimes a model finds patterns that you don't want it to learn. For example, some stereotypes or biases. But when new data comes, we can categorize it pretty easily, right? For example, this new data belongs to the orange cluster, and this new data belongs to the blue cluster. But there are difficulties in clustering, actually, in the clustering algorithm of machine learning. But we can learn this later on. So this is just for your basic understanding of unsupervised learning. Okay, we have a suggestion from Aisha. what if a circle is between the blue and yellow rectangle? Yeah, exactly. So we can have this problem as well. So maybe at this you need to identify some parameters. How would you evaluate your model or the result of your prediction? For example, at some parameters, your model can distinguish that this circle probably belongs to the blue cluster, although it is located in the middle of two clusters. So there are some problems with clustering model. Yes, so that's right. We can assess our models, but this is not what I will introduce you today because we have not that much time. Adil says there are always outliers. Yes, and this brings us to another problem as to identify some anomalies. So because we don't have enough knowledge how to define anomalies, what are really anomalies, and how your model can assess whether it's an actual system or actual condition or result, or it's just outlier. Okay, thank you for your participation.
Excuse me, Aya.
Yes.
Is this grouping of blue and yellow, is it a random grouping?
In this case, yes, it's just a small, like simple example of how you can cluster, or how can you group your data.
In
It was
that
not
case, there would be so many. We would end up having many models
Yes,
if we
yes,
go this way. Okay.
sure. Okay. And there is an additional branch of machine learning, which is a reinforcement learning. And so the reinforcement learning differs from other machine learning types because you don't collect examples with labels. You can imagine you have a game and you want to teach your machine to not lose this game. So to run your model until it sees the game over. And during the training, your algorithm, your model receives a reward based on its performance. So this is the reward function. With reinforcement learning and the reward, your model can learn very quickly how to outperform humans. However, designing a good reward function is difficult. And also you need to build a system that allows your model or your agent to interact with the game and the environment, which brings some other difficulties of constructing your virtual world. Okay. Now we have some overview of what machine learning is, and I want you to introduce the mindset, the machine learning mindset. I think all of you are here from Research Institute and we are familiar with research settings. And I want to share the quote by Peter Norvig, the Google Research Director, who says the machine learning changes the way you think about a problem, and the focus shifts from a mathematical science to a natural science, running experiments and using statistics, not logic, to analyze its results. And we all know the scientific method, right? We set the goal, we make hypotheses, collect the data, test our hypotheses, analyze the results, reach out to conclusion, and then repeat this cycle again and again. And this is what happens in machine learning, actually. So we know this scientific method. We only need to learn the machine learning algorithms to apply our understanding. How can we identify the good problem for machine learning? You can ask yourself a question. What problem am I facing? And would it be a good problem for machine learning? So now you can think about your research and think about the problem you are trying to solve and whether this problem can be solved with machine learning. You may wonder, okay, how can I understand whether my problem is good for machine learning, right? You don't have any knowledge maybe for now. So this is the types of machine learning problems, the typical examples. There are classification problems. For example, you need to recognize whether it's cat, it's a dog, or any other animal. There are clustering problems, which we already encountered today. You can group your data into different groups. And there are other many types of machine learning. So I want you to make a small exercise today, and maybe it's a food for thought for later. Please think about what kind of problem you have and what you want the machine learning to solve, for example. I think you can read here as well. So you want your machine learning model to solve a problem. Can you come up with any idea based on your research? And if you have some ideas, please share with us. Okay, we have answer. Okay, Harsher says that any problem that is beyond our cognition or intuition can be subject to machine learning. I think when it is beyond our cognition, it will be very difficult to create the model to solve the problem, or to access whether your model solves the problem and how good is the model. Because the machine learning algorithms, usually you create yourself or you use some interfaces that like automatic ML models to solve the problem. So I think it's not possible. Maybe you can, Harsha, maybe you can come up with idea which is closely related to your research. For example, you can classify a rice species, for example, or what? It's my idea. What else can you do? Adil says, I want machine learning that would count cells based on the confluence or vice versa. That's a nice idea. So you can use a computer vision to detect that there are cells in the dish, to recognize or segment the shape, right? And then classify into different confluence level, right? It's a very nice idea. Okay. Aisha says in the previous experiments, okay, we can compare fluorescence signal intensity between treated and control cells. Right, we have to do it manually. Yes, you can design the model that recognizes, for example, based on the intensity, whether it is control or treated cell, right? Very nice. You can, guys, you can unmute yourself and just speak up. You don't need to write only your answers, or just enjoy this discussion. And if, for example, Umi or Tomoki-san, if you want, if you're afraid of English, don't be afraid. We will try to understand, and we'll try to help you to convey the message.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we have very good ideas, right? And I'm glad that you already came up with some ideas. So I think it's already 30 minutes long meeting. But if you have any questions, please ask now, because this is a Q&A time. Or any feedback, any interest any skills you want to learn during this year. So Amal is a program. Aisha asks, essentially Amal is a program or code. Yes, it's like it's a tool, and you can code yourself, or you can use some interfaces that like non-coding analysis. So you can use some tools to run your ML model. Will we have any training course on ML or something? Yes, of course, because majority wants to learn ML, and this is just the introduction. And I hope we can meet again for another ML workshop or study session. Okay, maybe you can now unmute yourself and just introduce yourself. So I will start. So this community is not only to gain skills, but also I want you from different institutes to meet each other and develop some meaningful connections. So I will start with myself, and then you can proceed further. So, my name is Aya, and besides learning programming, I like to just walk around Japan and take photos. So I like photography, and I also play violin in the orchestra. So could you please introduce yourself now?
Hello,
Hello.
my name is Adil. I'm from Mashimalap at NIG, and I'm interested in this club as well as you. Yeah, but I don't have much of a background, so I would like to learn something new.
Great. What are your hobbies outside studying?
Yeah, hobbies. I'm like doing sports. For example, soccer.
Great. Any soccer lovers here? Okay. Anyone?
Aisha.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes,
Sorry.
sure.
Yes, I am in the lab, so difficult to talk. Nice to meet you all. I hope to learn new skills. I got some background at the university for programming, but that's very basic. I want to use my basic knowledge and improve it and do something useful for myself, like building a website, for example, which would be good for my career in the future, maybe. Yeah, and I hope to learn from you guys and maybe help you. Thank you very much. Nice to meet you all.
Great, nice to meet you.
Hi everyone, I'm Harsha from National Institute of Genetics. So I'm a PhD student, a D3 PhD student here. And I joined this course because I wanted to know how the artificial intelligence and the modern technology could able to transform the biology. To be frank, I thought the scope is only limited to biology, but I just after I started, I could realize that it's beyond biology, and it's good to know that we could able to solve many problems and arrive at a meaningful interpretations about the things surrounding us. And I'm really looking forward to learn many things. Hope we can mutually benefit each other from these classes. Nice to meet you all.
Right. Yeah, so I'm happy to provide resources for you to learn skills based on your personal interests, like studying, or maybe you would like to do some extra things in your free time. Anyone else, please?
Actually, Harsha asked a question in chat.
Okay, but can we proceed with introducing ourselves? Okay, Fong?
Hi,
Hi.
my name is Phương, and I'm in human genetics laboratory. And I think the machine learning is very useful in genetics and genome, and every kind of omics you apply on the analyzing the genome, like transcriptome or even the methylation or other information. So I hope I can learn something from this course.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our Japanese students.
Hi.
Yes. Hi.
But I can't speak English. So I'm Umi. I belong to the Institute of Space and Astronomical Science. My hobby is bouldering. I don't have much programming experience, so I participate this club because I want to study ML. So thank you.
素晴らしい。Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, I'm Tomoki Omama. I belong to Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, the same as Umi Enokidani. My research is about the universe, especially a black hole. I decided to participate in this community because I want to learn something new and learn about machine learning. And my hobby is football and surfing.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So Adil also plays football. You have here some matching interests.
Yeah.
We have Mia also. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm Yuka Mia. For the students, I'm student of ISAS. I can't speak English well, so
maybe if it's easier, maybe you can introduce yourself in Japanese. Try to understand. We have a bit of knowledge of Japanese. Is anyone, let's say, If anyone don't mind, maybe Mia can introduce himself in Japanese.
あ、えっと、と僕の専攻っていうか、僕が研究しているのは、まあ、大きく言うと、イオンエンジン、はやぶさとかはやぶさ2の、宇宙の探査機に使われている推進機の、イオンエンジンに関連した研究を、行っています。で、趣味はそうですね。まあ、音楽を聴くことが好きですね。特に、そうですね、ロックとかポップスが好きです。で、
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's a very good opportunity for me to learn that maybe next meetings we can I should organize some sessions in Japanese, so for you to understand better the ML or other knowledge, right? Great. Aisha helps us with Japanese in the chat. Thank you very much. Yes, so よろしくお願いします、Mia san.
よろしくお願いします。
Okay, we have also Abdullah and Beam joined recently, I think, or maybe I didn't see.
Hello.
Oh.
So, yeah. So, hi. I am Beam. I am from National Institute of Genetics. So, I am thinking of like trying to make some ML tool to analyze gut microbiome. So, yeah, I am interested in doing that. So, other than working in lab, I play sports and I do gardening.
Great.
Yes, nice meeting you all.
And Abdullah, please.
I think he just left for washroom or prayer. I think.
Okay. Thank you everyone for joining. And I think we can stop this session here. I will let you know about the future events soon. Okay, take care. Bye. Oh, maybe we can do a photo. I should have made a photo. Okay.
Can we create some group on Slack or Line of these community people interested in the common
Yeah, actually,
student club?
in the email you can find the social media links, and if Slack or Discord is more convenient for you, I can also organize this. Do you want me to create Slack or Line group?
Yeah, it's better to update about the upcoming events and next gatherings.
So Slack is good.
Okay. Okay.
Is everyone having Slack? People from other institutes?
Umi-san and Tomoki-san, is Slack? Do you use Slack? Is it convenient for you?
Yes, I use Slack, so it's convenient.
Okay, cool. Then please, could you, if you are registered already, I think I will have your Gmail, but if not, please contact me via the Gmail I wrote in my email. Okay. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Bye bye. Bye bye, Umi.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming.